Welcome to Cav 101. This is a Cav Lucas pump. Had people wanting to know how to reseal the top, the cover gasket, and the two shafts. You cannot replace the front seal without having a special wrench. If you've never seen one of those wrenches, this is what it looks like. Takes a special wrench to take that seal out. So you have to have the pump off the tractor anyway. What I'm showing you today is just basically resealing the throttle shaft and the kill shaft and the gasket down below it. You obviously, if you're on the tractor, Fords are notorious for this. They've got a return line, comes off and goes up. A plastic line, if you're not careful, you'll break it. It's brittle. It's a 5/8 head usually on the fitting, and you have to just kind of get a wrench back in here behind it and loosen that up to get it off. You're going to take the nut off of this lever in order to push the shaft on down through it, because it's connected to a spring on the inside. It's easiest just to take the lever off. It's elongated. It'll only go on one way. The kill shaft, we'll do it after we get it out. So we're going to loosen you'll have sealing wire here. We're going to cut that sealing wire off. Just throw it away. And these castle nuts, you don't need to be real tight. It's something that it's all aluminum housing, cover and everything. If you really torque it, you're going to break them. This has washers on it. These washers have a steel lock washer inside them. They're rubber coated steel. And then this is a dust cover. Some of them have them on them, some of them don't, depending on which one you got. When you break it loose, you have to work it a little bit. You get it up, you can feel the spring on it. There's a spring in there. We're going to push this throttle shaft down and pull it out. And then we have the cap off and the throttle shaft. The throttle shaft has a link on it that goes to the spring. You do not have to take the spring out of the governor arm if you don't want. If you're going to just leave it lay, you're good to go. It'll stay right there, won't go nowhere. This link has 3 holes in it. You got to remember which hole it comes out of. If you should happen to have this spring off, the governor arm has 3 holes, and you want to see which hole that comes out of, so you make sure you put it back in the same hole. On that governor link, there's a pin, a little spring, and a little pin. So if those fall down inside the pump, you have to fish them out, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to end up taking the pump off, turning it upside down. That's where your governor weights are, your thrust sleeve, and everything in there. It'll wad up, it'll hang up down in the bottom. It's not easy just to get a magnet down in there because it takes a real small one. So be careful with that. If you should happen to take that end off, just remember where it goes. Now that we've got it off, we're going to take the O-rings off of the throttle shaft, replace them. Good little pick hook, works good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the kill shaft out and do the same thing with it. Once again, the shaft is elongated so that it'll only go on one way. Knock shaft out. 2 O-rings the same. We're going to change them O-rings, add a little oil to them as you go back, put it back together. The pin on the kill shaft goes to the outside, and then we're ready to go back with it. have where the kill shaft pin is, where it goes in, you have a link that comes back here to the metering valve. This metering valve, it all works like that. But you want that pin to be able to go in that link in the center there in that little slot, so that when you go to kill the engine, you'll be able to kill it. Otherwise, it won't die. You got your gasket. The gasket is paper. They have little tabs on them. These tabs go in here beside the studs. They go down underneath it there in a little slot. You'll see that there. So I'm gonna put my governor pin back in. It was in the middle hole. I'm gonna put it back in the middle hole and put my spring on it. Then I'm gonna hook my spring to the other end of this governor link, or the throttle link. Got it in the middle hole, is where it came out of. And then I'm ready to go back in the link. Now, if this doesn't go down easy, I know that I've got something out of place. Got the link halfway hanging out. So you can see the link here. I'm gonna get it lined up with my kill shaft. You can move this shaft and it'll move that link pin down there and it'll go fall in usually. So I've got that back together. Put my dust shield on. Washers on. Like I said, it's elongated. Obviously your bolts are going to hit that piece, so I'm going to be in here like this. Snug, not real tight, just snug. They're lock nuts. They got Teflon in them, so they'll stay. And then torque. If you have a torque wrench or inch-pound torque wrench, you could torque these. Just get them tight. Not real tight. They're rubber and aluminum, so that's what you need to do. And you basically seal these two shafts. New gasket, you're good to go. Anything else is leaking, if you got problems leaking down here below, or the gasket on the side, there is a quart gasket there. It can be replaced, so come and see us. Willard's Pump and Injector Service. We thank you for your business.